Hi, it's Katie, and I have a collection of smoothie recipes to share with you. These are just some that I've tried over the last couple of weeks that I've really enjoyed. The first one is a whole fruit smoothie, so I'm going to start with a large peeled navel orange, and I'm going to add a large banana. That's a fresh banana. I'm going to also add a cup of frozen blueberries, and I'm going to add some spinach cubes. These are just fresh spinach that I blended up with just a little bit of water and then frozen these little cubes. I'd say each cube is about a small handful of spinach. I'm just going to put 2 in, kind of working my way up to adding greens to my smoothies. And just blend that. I'm not adding any additional liquid. There's plenty of liquid in that big juicy orange. And this smoothie was really delicious. It was really sweet and fruity. I didn't taste the spinach at all, and I really enjoyed it. The next smoothie is a tropical mango coconut smoothie. I'm using the flesh of 1 large mango. I'm also going to add some coconut cream. This is different than coconut milk. It's really thick. So I'm going to add a tablespoon of that just to make it extra creamy. Then I'm going to add a cup of ice cold coconut milk. That's out of a can. And then blend that up. I did end up putting a squirt of lime in, and it made it taste so delicious. And this is really thick and creamy. Between the coconut cream and just the fiber from the mango, it was really thick and creamy, even though I didn't add any frozen or ice cubes. The next one is a decadent treat, and I wanted to make a milkshake. So I made sort of a milkshake smoothie. I added about a cup of homemade almond milk, and then I have this dairy-free ice cream. If you're not following a dairy-free diet, you could use regular milk and regular vanilla ice cream. I'm going to go ahead and scoop some ice cream into the blender with the milk. So this is a thinner sort of smoothie version. So I used a cup of almond milk and probably about a half a cup of the vanilla ice cream. And I also have a very generous cup, probably closer to a cup and a half or 2 cups of fresh strawberries. Frozen strawberries probably would have worked better since I'm trying to keep this nice and cold and thick, but it was really delicious. And you can see how thin it is, and it pours really nicely. This was really good. I made it again, trying to make it a little bit thicker and more like a milkshake. So I just sort of inverted the proportion. So I had a cup of ice cream and half a cup of almond milk, and it made a much thicker milkshake, as you can see here. Still very delicious. I used the same cup and a half of fresh strawberries. And it was nice and thick, and you could stick the straw straight down the middle and it held it up, so that's how thick it was. The next smoothie is a Pina Colada inspired smoothie. So I have a cup of almond milk, and I'm going to use that coconut cream. That was what I used the couple days earlier that you saw out of the can. I just transferred it to a plastic container. So this time I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of the coconut cream. And then I have frozen pineapple tidbits. You could use fresh or frozen as well, or fresh or canned as well. So I'm going to use a cup of pineapple. I'm also going to add some frozen bananas, and I just sliced up all my bananas in this big container. So I'm just going to break them up a little bit, and I'm going to put probably about 1 large banana's worth of frozen banana slices in here. And then to make it extra frosty, I'm going to just add a few ice cubes. And then blend that all up. And this was really good too. I had to let it melt a little bit between the frozen fruit and the ice cubes. It was a little thick, so I let it sit and then poured it, and I topped it with some unsweetened coconut, and it was delicious. This next one is a recipe that I found online. I will link it down below, but it's for a Shamrock Shake, and it's dairy-free the way I'm making it. So start with a cup of homemade almond milk, And then I'm going to add probably about 2 bananas worth of frozen banana slices. And then I'm also going to add half of an avocado. I love avocados in smoothies. I never thought of it before, but it makes it really thick and creamy, and avocados are so good for you. I'm going to add some of those spinach cubes, so about 2 large handfuls worth of spinach. Then I'm going to add some vanilla extract. So it calls for a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And I'm also going to add peppermint extract. Peppermint extract. And it's just a 1/8 of a teaspoon. So I'm just using my 1/4 teaspoon, filling it halfway. I did up the peppermint extract because I love peppermint. So after I blended it up, I added more peppermint, and it ended up tasting kind of like toothpaste. So it tasted good before I added more. So make sure you follow the recipe. Then to sweeten it up a little bit, I'm adding a tablespoon of maple syrup. And then just blend that all up. And between the spinach and the avocado, it turned out this beautiful green shade. And you know how avocados turn brown as they sit out. So if you make this, make sure you drink it right away because it will start to turn a little bit brown. But I really loved the color straight out of the blender. And this was one of my favorite recipes that I tried. It's really good. The last recipe is sort of a juice. So this isn't a smoothie, it's more of a juice. And I have about 5 or 6 small carrots there, and I'm just cutting them up just to make it a little bit easier on my blender. And I also have a small raw beet that I peeled and just chopped it up. And then I'm going to add a quart of ice water. I like this juice really chilled, so you can either make it ahead of time and store it in the refrigerator, or I usually just add a few ice cubes to the water. And you can add as much or as little water as you want. If you add too little water, I feel like the beet flavor is a little overwhelming, and I thought a quart was perfect for what I wanted. You could also add some apple to sweeten it up a little bit, but I wanted to keep it just vegetable. I'm going to strain it through a clean kitchen towel, and this will stain, so make sure you use one you don't care about so much. I found that if you wet the towel before you start to strain and then rinse it immediately afterwards, it doesn't stain as badly, but you don't want to use your nicest towel for this, of course. So then you just kind of gather up the sides, making sure that you don't dump the juice out. Then you just kind of squeeze the juice through the kitchen towel or the tea towel. And you want to squeeze it gently at first, but once you get most of the juice out, you want to squeeze it nice and tight. You can see how dry and colorless the pulp is. That's how I know that most of the nutrition is in my juice and not left behind in the pulp. Then just transfer it into a mason jar. Make sure you pour it all over your counter. But lucky for me, I have a towel that's already beet stained right there that I just can grab and clean that up. So I hope you enjoyed these recipes. If you have a smoothie recipe that you really like, leave it in the comments below how you make it. I'd love to try your smoothie recipe. And I'll be making more of these videos soon, so keep your eye out for that. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!